Yes, Venerable. It's called the Samasita. Samasitam. Thank you all for coming today. Please be seated. I'm actually, I should sit and then.
Yeah, sure. Oh, that's good. Thank you.
Thank you all for joining us online and in person. I know it's a really, really interesting, tempting weekend because a lot of people are planning to go out, and still most of you found time to come online and in person. And we are so happy today. This is one of my dreams in the center.
Oh,
I was telling people that I want a lot of teachers who are nuns to come to the center.
okay.
And we were so blessed when the opportunity presented that I grabbed it with everything that I had. And I'm so happy to have Geshema here, Geshema Tenzin Lahdron. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
Just to kind of introduce you all to Geshema. Geshema began her Buddhist education at the age of 13 under His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, and she was ordained as Getsulma in 1989, and she studied the Sutra and Tantras for over 20 years at the Jamyang Choling Institute. In 2016, she became one of the first Tibetan Buddhist nuns to earn the Geshema degree from His Holiness the Dalai Lama after passing a series of rigorous exams. So whom we have here is not just a mere student who is very good at her studies, but someone who is paving the path for a lot of women who want to see themselves in the spiritual world in any form, in the lay form, or even as tomorrow, if they want to have this aspiration of becoming a nun. So thank you so much.
You should be on the screen, but while you're doing the introduction, you should be on the screen.
I want to be behind the pictures.
No.
Never in front of anybody. Sorry, I'll just minimize this.
Yeah. Just maybe push a little bit back. Yeah, that's good because
His Holiness's photo.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you. So thank you so much, Geshema, for spending this time with us.
Thank you.
And thank you all for coming here. And we can start.
Okay, so thank you so much, Dee. How do I say? Just Dila. Dipti.
But I like to be called Dee.
Dee. Okay, Dipti La. I want to add La as a, what do you call it?
Dolma.
Respect. Dolma. Oh, you have in Dharma name?
From Kerala.
Dolma full name? Oh, Tupten Dolma. That's nice. Thank you for the introduction, and thank you for having me here, and Domala, Diptila, and I'm so happy to see Archana, you're here. We have known each other through screen, in person, retreats, studies, Nalanda courses from Tibet House, in many, many different occasions. That's so nice. Thank you so much. Thank you. And it's really nice to be here at Choe Khor Sum Ling, right? I've heard this name for many, many years because there are some sort of connection. It means that we have some karmic connection, I guess, right? Which is good. I mean, we are all connected anyway. No matter whether you really meet in person or through Zoom or, you're mentioning that it's your first time at the center. That's great. Looks like you got the youngest one, meaning we should encourage to join the younger to come and learn from each other. Archana is very senior, practitioner, learner. So you can learn from her a lot, That's great. And I'm so happy, it just happened because in a few days' time, it just happened that, okay, who was the person who asked, will you do some participate? I think Shantiji, right? Shantiji, whoever brought that, whoever told me to come here, I think to you and with through Shanti or someone. Oh, Paldron told you. Exactly. Sorry. Yeah. We were traveling together. That's right. Yeah, I know Paldron quite a long time. All right. Anyway, so that's just few things to say. And actually, I thought that maybe in the flyer it says talk a little bit about bodhichitta, about that, and then we'll do some of this. Usually you do the chanting, talking. Hello.
Prayers, if you like. So sorry, people, I forgot the mic. I forgot the mic.
Today, what we'll be learning? What you'll be teaching us?
Shruti? Yeah. Yeah, please follow. Yeah.
What did you say?
Precious human rebirth and
Precious human rebirth and bodhichitta is
Yeah.
the topic, right? Okay.
Oh, sorry, some more in front of us.
Voice is fine.
The
Yeah. Audio is fine, Geshema.
Sorry?
Audio is perfect.
Audio is
Fine.
perfect. Okay. All right. That's good. So yeah, okay. Before going to the topic versus human rebirth, human versus human life or human rebirth, and the bodhichitta, let's do some prayer. Before doing the prayer, I maybe want to do generating or setting proper motivation and do simple meditation would be good. Okay. So let's just try to create like a pure motivation why we are gathered here and why we, that maybe the purpose of gathering here and doing this practice it has many goals, so many aims, and there are so many reasons why you're here. The main thing is we want to create happiness for ourselves and others. And then most, if possible, long-lasting peace, especially like we call like a peace of mind for ourselves and others. Okay, so because of that we are gathered here. And then how can you really achieve that one? And we need to learn, we need to study, we need to reflect, we need to meditate, and then we need to, most importantly, meditate, study, reflecting, and meditating on regular basis, continuously, on regular basis, day-to-day life. Okay, so that's the main motivation is we want to free from, sorry, whether human, animals, anybody, whoever have the mind, whoever have themselves, whoever can, feel pain and pleasure, they're all seeking, if possible, most long-lasting happiness, peace. That's kind of common for everyone. So that's why we gather here. And so then that's the main motivation. At the same time, then how can you really achieve that? We need some guidance, someone blessing, someone, who we can use as a role model. So for that, I think it's good to have the refuge field and then the bodhicitta fields, and then the purpose of practice that I mentioned a little bit earlier. So the refuge field, okay, let's bring Buddha Shakyamuni in your mind very clearly in front of us, just above our crown, just above in front of us. And just feel that Buddha Shakyamuni is in front of us in person. And then also, His Holiness the Dalai Lama and any other enlightened being that you consider them as your, protection, your object of refuge. And then they are surrounded by Buddhas and Bodhisattvas from 10 directions. And then he said the bodhicitta fields, we are not really doing this practice just only oneself. We want you to do this practice together with all the other brothers and siblings. For that, you just visualize that your parents, and family, friends, all sentient beings surrounded us, surrounding you. Because in each and every sentient being is seeking happiness and peace, same as we wish. If you just generate this kind of motivation, this kind of mental attitude, and it's really good. It's actually one of the best method to create closeness, close feeling toward others, meaning loving, caring, respecting each other's. This kind of mental attitude will come. It's like if you do on daily basis this kind of exercise, and then closest feeling, respecting for others come naturally, and that way, harming, hatred each other will just slowly diminish. So, that official way I mentioned about Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and other teachers, Buddhist Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, who are for us to free us from suffering and the causes of suffering. And they are with us, in front of us, meaning try to bring them in your mind clearly. Like when you're looking at the mirror, the mirror, the reflection of our image come from the mirror. Same thing, that our mind is like the mirror. And then the Buddha's Bodhisattvas actually just kind of printed on our mind, which is our mind is clear like the mirror. Visualizing this, and also make sure that your body posture is also comfortable. The spine is straight. And then, if possible, the hand, right hand on the top of the left, and then the two thumbs, like gently touch, and also the hands gently touch and place at the levels of navel. Cross your leg in the Vajra position if possible. If not, just whatever way is comfortable is okay. The most important thing is spine straight. And then the true shoulder, very relaxed manner. Little relaxed manner. And eyes half closed, not completely closed, but not widely open. Mouth and the teeth are just in natural manner. So why we keep eyes half closed, not really completely closed and not widely open? Because if you widely open, there's a danger of getting this distraction, mental distraction, excitement come. If you completely close, mental thinking and dullness occur. Because of that, we won't be able to visualize the refill field or the bodhichitta fields clearly, because our mind is wandering everywhere. So that's really helpful. Okay. So while we are visualizing the fish field, we're all seeking help, blessing, support from the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Because of that, we are visualizing the fish field. So the teaching is the true, blessing of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And we can receive this blessing in many different forms. So with this, the visualization, setting, the physical posture, and all, let's few minutes to breathing exercise will be good to really relax our body and mind. Meaning just breathe naturally. So this is known as like a single point meditation too. So we are surrounded by all the mother sentient beings, and the Buddha's bodhisattva in front of us, and our body posture is in the right manner or position to do the meditation. So now let's, when you breathe out and exhale and inhale completely naturally. If you want to count, count. If not, doesn't matter. Maybe just focus on the breathing and not forget anything else. Just focus your mind on the breath and then just do the breathe in, breathe out, very relaxed manner to get, you know. Yes. Let's do some rare archana,
Page 36.
page 36.
Or 73. Page 73 is praise to Shakini.
73.
73.
Okay, let's see. Okay. Archana, can you do the leading the prayer? Sure. Because I would.
It's okay. I don't need that.
No, people need to hear that. Okay, yeah, I think there's enough.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Because, I mean,
Yeah, you get some rest.
and I will follow you.
Page 73 in the Golden Prayer Book. Praise to Shakini Buddha. To the founder, the entire person and destroyer, the completely perfect testimony to the human being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, so that the unknown of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings. To you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer from the Shakti clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When, O supreme amongst humans, you were born on this earth, you placed our servants right, and then said, I am supreme in this world. To you, who were wise, then I prostrate. With your bodies from the supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, from that blazes in the three worlds, winner of best, to you I prostrate. With a supreme sign, face like a spotted moons, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Just feel like you, the three worlds are not, the turn of wise one, but to I prostrate. The savoring having great compassion, the founder having great understanding, the field married with qualities like a sun. To you, the mother of darkness, I prostrate. The purity that free one from attachment, the virtues that frees one from the lower realm, that one path, the sublime reality, to the Dharma that I as I prostrate. Those who are liberated and who also know the revelation, the holy fields qualified with the realization, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you, the sublime truth I prostrate. Homage to the living Buddha, homage to the Dharma refuge, homage to the great Sangha, to the devout homage, to all worthies of respect, bound with the Buddhist and many as Ram's attempts in all aspects. With supreme faith I may homage. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions. Perform only perform virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, visualization, a flame of a lamp, all illusion, a drop of dew, or a bubble, a flame, a flash of lightning, a cloud, seek and shapings as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all seeing, subdue the foe of falls, and the deliver from samsara's ocean, perturbed by waves of aging, sickness, and death. Yeah, Sutra. Sutra. The heart of the perfectionist sutra. I prostrate to the Triple Gems.
Thus I did hear one time the Bhagavan was dwelling on the mountain. Together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Bhagavan was observed in the concentration on the categories of phenomena called profound perception. Also at that time, the Bodhisattvas, Mahasattva, and Malakiteshvara, looking upon the very practice of the professional wisdom, and beheld those who eradicate also as an empty of inherent nature. Then through the power of Buddha, the Venerable Shiva said this to the Bodhisattvas, Mahasattva, Avalokiteshvara. How should any son of the lineage train wish to practice the activities of the profound perfection of wisdom train? We said that in the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, Avalokiteshvara said this to the Venerable Sharathuriputra. Shariputra, any son of the lineage or the daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the perfection of wisdom and is like correctly and repeatedly beholding those predicates also as empty of nature. Form is empty, emptiness is form, emptiness is not other than form, form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and concession are empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are emptiness, without characteristics, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness, there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no composition of factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no no taste, no object of touch, and no phenomena. There is no I element and so on up and including no mind element and no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no exchange of ignorance, and so on, up to including no aging and death, and no exchange of aging and death. Similarly, there is no softening, origination, cessation, path, and there is no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also non-attainments. Shariputra, therefore, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and dwell in the perfection of wisdom, a mind without obscuration, without fear. Having completely passed beyond error, they reach the end point of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the three times also manifestly, completely awaken to unsurpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment in reliance on the perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of accurate knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the mantra equal to unequal, the mantra that thoroughly pacify all suffering should be known as such. This is not false. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is there. Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasum Gate Buddhi Sutta. Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas should burn in the perfection of wisdom like that. Then the Bhagavan arose from the consultation and commented on Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvaya Lakitishvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage. It is like that. It is like that. Once you practice the profound perfection of wisdom, just as you have indicated, even the Tathagata rejoiced. The Venerable Sharathuriputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara, and those surrounding in the entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, asuras, and gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised, spoken by the Buddha. Qualities? Can you do that? Okay. Where is it? Foundation of all good qualities of foundation. Maybe I forgot the foundation of all qualities.
Yes. 137, page 137. The foundation of all good qualities.
Yep.
The foundation of all good
qualities
qualities
are
is
the
behind with perfect
Gurus. Correct devotion to him is the root of path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, please bless me to rely upon him with great respect. Understanding that the precious rebirth is found only once is greatly meaningful and is difficult to find again. Please bless me to generate the mind that unceasingly, day and night, get its essence. This life is an impermanent as a water bubble, remembering how quickly it decays and death comes. After death, like just like a shadow follow the body, the result of black and white karma follow. Finding firm and definite conviction in this, please bless me always to be careful, to abandon even the slightest negativities, and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Seeking samsaric pleasure is the door to all suffering. They are uncertain and cannot be broken to weapon. Recognize this shortcoming. Please bless me to generate a strong wish for the bliss of liberation. And by this pure thought, mindfulness, alertness, and great efficiency arise. The root of the teaching is the keeping the Pratimoksha vows. Please bless me to accomplish this essential practice. Just as I have fallen into the sea of samsara, we saw all other liberated beings. Please bless me to see this train in a swim bodhichitta and bear the responsibility of freeing liberated beings. Even I have developed only bodhichitta, but I don't practice the three types of morality. I will not achieve enlightenment. A clear recognition of this. Please bless me to practice the bodhisattva vows with great energy. Once I have specified interpretation to wrong objects and correctly analyzed the meaning of reality, please bless me to generate quickly within my mind stream the unified path of abiding in special insight. Having become a pure vessel by training in the spiritual path, please bless me to enter the holy gateways of the fortune ones, the supreme Vajra vehicle. At that time, the basis of accomplishing the true attainment is keeping the pure vows and samaya. As I have become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows and pledge like my life. Every day is the wisdom which is the essence of the Vajrayana. By practicing with a great energy, never giving up the fourth session, please bless me to realize the teaching of the Holy Guru. Like that, may all gurus who show the path, spiritual friends who practice even long term, please bless me to pacify completely all outer and inner hindrances. In all my lives, never separated from perfect gurus. May I enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing the qualities of the stage of the path. May I quickly attain the stage of the Vajradhara. Thank you so much. I take it. Okay, so thank you so much, Archana. So the topic we are need to cover, it's very important one. The essence of the Buddha's teaching. Oh, I think it's the essence of all the authentic religious tradition. We're talking about precious human rebirth, or it's said bodhichitta, which means like an enlightened mind or awakened mind or the body mind. So, it's pretty much common in many, 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 many religious tradition. Body mind, what is by body mind? What is it mean by enlightened mind? What is it mean by awakened mind? So when you say, when we recite the foundation of the good qualities, where I mentioned about the precious human rebirth, how precious it is. And when you say precious, the human rebirth is very precious, meaning it has some unique qualities to achieve the goal that we are talking about, enlightenment or the liberation or complete peace and happiness. And then you could ask, or how about the animals, right? Why not? People often mean, because we need to, when you're talking about, bodhicitta is known as awakened mind or the body mind, and precious human rebirth, and if you want to go in details into, according to the Lama Tsongkhapa Salamrim teaching, is huge. A lot are there. You could just go with how it comes so precious. It goes to obtain this. It's called like the vessel to achieve full enlightenment, to remove all the affliction or the mental, the non-useful things that we have in the mind, or the not helpful kind of qualities of the mind, none as a affliction of obscuration, to achieve the goal, the two goals we are talking about, liberation and enlightenment. These are within our mind, meaning it's obscure to discover our true nature of the mind. So for that, what you need, when you talk about the bodhichitta, you could divide into two, an ultimate bodhichitta and conventional bodhichitta. But if you go to a very technical way, ultimate bodhichitta is a namesake bodhichitta, but the bodhichitta is a conventional bodhichitta, meaning the mind that wish to attain full enlightenment to benefit all beings. That's, like more or less the definition or the meaning of the bodhichitta. Okay, so then I was checking with the, when you study, maybe, Archana is a part of the Nalanda courses from Tibet House, where we study Abhisamaya Alankara, where just come the details of the bodhichitta. And some of you may be part of the Nalanda. Yeah, so Geshe-la teaches everything in details in the Abhisamaya Alankara, right? And I was just thinking in the morning, how can I really present the bodhicitta here? Because it's a huge topic. It's a very important topic. And then, usually when you do the study about the person's human rebirth or the bodhicitta, in the monastic, the formal, like a systematic study, curriculum, usually we go to, okay, what the Buddha say about bodhicitta, and which sutra he mentioned about bodhicitta, and where and how, like this, we often go to the source and then go to the Nalanda Master's commentary and an explanation about the Buddha, what the Buddha had mentioned in the different sutras. And then, okay, it's the bodhicitta, so the awakened mind is something very, very unique, something very precious. And can I have that kind of mind? Can I transform my mind like that, like a Buddha's mind? These questions just come, right, naturally in a way. And then in the sutra, it mentioned like how you really outline this in this teaching. We go to, okay, Buddha had mentioned in the such text about the bodhicitta. And then here Buddha have mentioned in many of the sutras that bodhicitta can be, like a cultivate or generate not only human being, all 6 realms beings, they all can generate bodhicitta. It has mentioned in the Buddhist sutras, in the teaching of the Buddha Monday. And given many examples, some example of like a previous Buddha who have generated true bodhicitta, when someone who was taken rebirth in the hell realms, and checking with his friends who was suffering so much with pulling some card and couldn't really pull, and then seeing the suffering of his friend, and he generated really, really strong compassion and wish this, his friend free from this, uneasiness, the suffering, the misery that having. He have generated the bodhicitta in hell realms. They have given many, many examples of that in someone who have generated true bodhicitta in hell realms. Another occasion is also generated bodhicitta in like a human, like animals form. And then hungry ghosts, and then human, of course, there's no question of that. And then God and goddesses. It has mentioned in the sutra that all sentient beings in their own respective form, they can generate true bodhicitta. So, and then you can debate a lot. And how come that human body is so precious then? You can argue, even the dog and cats can generate through bodhichitta. And I think we can see a little bit about the indication in why they can do. When you're checking with like a dog and cats, how kind of loving, caring they're showing, like intimacy or embracing or caring their own babies, like a kittens or cub. And when they have this kind of caring and sense of responsibility, sense of caring, sense of responsibility, meaning they wanted to, when they're babies, sometimes when I was little, I sometimes observe this thing interestingly. Everybody does pressure. I grew up like in a farm, sort of a farmer family where we have animals and like fields, and then we often have, we have the animals in the spring is kind of season that the animals will have babies. What do you call cub, and like a goats and goats, and like a goat, the sheep and goats and cows, they will have babies. And then, the one just when the cow cubs born one day, and the minute they're born, the mother is like running after her cub to taking care of the licking this, cleaning up the body with a mess. We just watch so carefully. Wow, this mother's care for the babies is like not only unique for human beings. And the cows are really running up right after just taking the birth, so rashly, cleaning up. And then if the cub is not really, like a stand up, they try to like pull and, make sure that it's still alive. And then, start doing everything what she can to feed, milking like this. And then in like some of the horses, they looks like they really teach their baby, the cow, sorry, horse baby called what? Fool? Fool. It's like there's different names are there. They teach them how to walk. Teach meaning, walking, and then looking how they were walking. If they're not really following, waiting, and then sometimes they're pushing like this. There's some indication that, this kind of love and this kind of care, this kind of sense of responsibility, even taking animals, which mean it's clear indication that animals can cultivate bodhicitta, the fully awakened mind. It's clear there's in a clear kind of indication that mind is something very special, no matter which animal, which like a sentient, what kind of body you have, right? So it's quite clear indication, but compared to human, probably they have little, if you study more in detail in the textbooks, it has mentioned like animals are mostly animals are little dullness in their ignorance, because, not like us, they don't have their mind or their brain. It may have some connection with them, like their biological body, because of that, the skillfulness or the how do you sharpen your mind? They don't have that much skill. They don't have that much kind of capacity. And it's known as like more like ignorance much stronger in animals than human. But the human, human body, precious human body, when you say precious, meaning what kind of quality we have compared to dog and cats. And they have the karmic, imprints for sure, but at the same time, maybe carrying their babies, like their cubs, or their like maybe some kind of biological connection. Most maybe biological, connection is stronger than the mind. I'm not sure. Maybe, but the human being can make a lot of progress. You can think a lot. It's many of the scientists also say that but sometimes scientists find like interesting finding. Some animals' brain is so, I think rabbit or what. Some birds are so intelligent. But they do this, research based on the brain, not really the mind. But when you say biological connection, it has to do some research on the brain, or maybe some other chemical reaction, I guess. But we, in a Buddhist teaching, we don't talk much about the brain. I mean, medicals, maybe from the medical perspective, from the Tibetan medicine, it talk a lot about the biological thing, and then also it related with the three poison, with as long as you have the three poison, the three poison, what are they? Maybe new people have no idea what are the three poison, but some of the Nalanda master course person, right?
Attachment, anger, ignorance, and
Attachment, anger,
and ignorance.
ignorance. So you are new. So you can you say lively a few of them?
Attachment,
Uh-huh.
anger, ignorance.
Good. Attachment, anger, ignorance. That's really right. Good. You really right sequence in the textbooks. Sometimes you randomly count, but attachment, anger, ignorance. That's really good. So as long as you're trapped with this three poison, then we are not free. We are not really, we are under the control of the affliction, right? So when you study systematically and then refer to the teaching, we always talk about how can you really cleanse your mind and clean your mind, meaning purify your mind and then increase the positivity of your mind. And this kind of skill, this kind of thinking, and this kind of process, I think humans have much, much, much more than animals compared to others. That's why I think it's like a precious human body is. And when you say precious human body, it's like it's why it can become so precious. The cause that taking rebirth as a human, you have to practice perfect morality. That morality and discipline, well discipline. And then when you say morality or discipline, body, speech, and mind. And main thing is practicing well discipline. That's the main cause. And of course, there are many other causes to take you to reborn as a human being. That's one thing. And then in Lamrim teaching, it has given so many examples how it becomes so precious, how it becomes so rare. And because of the causes, because of the really entity of the human being, and then because of the preciousness, the ability that you have to use the body to achieve such a great attainment, such as generating true compassion and bodhichitta, renunciation, and then to benefit many beings. And you can say we have so many examples in this world who are devoted to others. They are doing everything what they do, whatever they talk, wherever they go, wherever they react, it's just for the others. The best example you could have like His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and then many others great leaders who are so compassionate, and they are devoted completely to the others. And this is only done by human beings. I mean, maybe goddesses do it, but out of them, human body is something very special, very, very special. It's like a, what do you call it? Like a vase that hold full of nectar. Let's see like that way. It's something good to say. You often find like a vessel. Vessel is a big, beautiful word in there. You can use it like a really to quill, to remove the suffering, the illness or the uneasiness of our mind. And we have to be, we need to feel really fortunate that we have this life and proud of ourselves. Not arrogant, but proud. Be proud of ourselves because we have got this precious human body. Because when you say the preciousness is, we call it like we have got Dharma, mean 8 leisure and then the 10 endowment that we have, obtained with us. Meaning we have met the teaching of the Buddha. We have met the teacher, the right teacher of His Holiness the Dalai Lama and many others, teachers who are really for us, to lead us. And then the teaching of the Buddha, not necessarily, Buddha doesn't mean like a, Buddhist teaching doesn't mean like just a group of, one session of religious people. Those who are aspire to the teaching of the bodhichitta. Buddha, bodhicitta. It's always go together. When you practice bodhicitta, you will become Buddha. Meaning we will become selflessness person, generous person, well-disciplined person, and then most responsible person, and then more adorable person too at the same time, right? If you practice, if we have the really strong, like a strong, like a belief in it, not just believe, but live with it, and then it's slowly, I think it's really start some transformation taking place within our mind. And then the more you think about bodhicitta benefiting others, the more you're, really learning, and at the same time try to apply into day-to-day life. And when you see, your mind is getting much more relaxed, less stress, less, depressed, less worry, less fear, and becoming more and more happier, like day by day, maybe week by week, month by month, and then we are doing right. So, we are seeking, complete peace and happiness. So, when you study at the monastery, we study these things, and then what does it mean by happiness? What does it mean by peace? This help when you come with a question. If you ask the question, and then the other side, which is wisdom, come up. So you are doing the analyzing, critical thinking. Sometimes even why you practice bodhicitta. When I was little, like in the Ladakh, I'm from Ladakh. Okay, it's good to share sometimes these things, because the Buddhist teaching influence, like in this in an area like 1,000 years, and the Buddhist teaching, learning like a practicing compassion, practice patience, loving, caring, respecting, caring for the elders, and loving to the younger, respecting the elder. These are part of our culture. And we just think like, why you have to question with that? It is something that you're supposed to do it, no matter what. Why you're questioning about try to be good human being? There's no question. You should just go for it. Some like then the food is just for you, right? Why you have to have the food? No question. This kind of mental attitude we have. And if someone asks this kind of question, we start laughing, meaning, what is, you're a little dull, what is that, what do you mean by that? It's something that it's something that has to be your part of your life. Which, when I was trying to think about this kind of thing, it's something really good, it's very unique, because this practice, the teaching, passed from elder, let's say, generation to generation, and it's just it almost like it become part of your body or your DNA, which is so rare. But education is actually, the passing the teaching of the Buddha. It's part of life, and then also passing from generation to generation, like parents teach to their children, well behave, be good, don't be angry to others, don't be jealous to others, don't be, like arrogant hurt you. These are like just even like lay people who haven't had any influence of the teaching, who haven't had any kind of, it's not only Ladakh, but I think it's within in India too, because it's a part of our culture, right? Because the Buddhist teaching is so much widely influenced in our culture. And when you come to the religion thing, His Holiness, maybe it's good to share with some, maybe already, even though maybe I'll just want to share. When His Holiness Dalai Lama said that Buddhist teaching or Buddha's teaching could be classified in three. So what are the three? Buddhist philosophy, Buddhist psychology, and then Buddhist religion. He often said that. And when the Buddhist philosophy and Buddhist psychology, so, practicing compassion, renunciation, bodhichitta, these are part of Buddhist psychology. And it's not necessarily taught someone who claimed to be Buddhist or someone who have to identify as a kind of Buddhist. You can teach, you can practice, you can share, whoever seeking happiness and peace, whoever having some crisis going on with the mind. How can you really change your how can you really transform your mental thinking or the mindset to bring about peace, happiness, and satisfaction? So that's why he called it like a Buddhist psychology. But I guess you have to name it Buddhist psychology, because otherwise, psychology means there are so many different, are there. So when you say Buddhist psychology, it's to teach a lot about, we're mentioning about the three poison, and then because of the three poison, all the others, the mental disturbing mind, there's not an affliction. There are 6 root affliction, and then 20 secondary afflictions are there when you study Buddhist psychology, and then identify each one by one, and then try to remove them slowly by applying wisdom. And by applying wisdom, meaning by knowing the nature of the affliction or the nature of the stain, and then how can you really remove them? By weaken them, because if you are angry all the time, His Holiness often say, or even the scientists say, if you're all the time angry so much, that will weaken your immune system too. Physically also damage, and of course the mentally damaged, right? So then it's win-win sort of thing. And if you practice this, and we will be healthier body, and then healthy mind, no question with that, right? So Buddhist psychology, and then Buddhist philosophy. Philosophy have many, philosophy, again, there's so many different interpretations, different understanding of philosophy. But the questioning, when you are questioning about, okay, can I achieve enlightenment? Can I, generate true bodhichitta, that, the mental attitude that I want to become fully awakened person? Fully awakened person means someone who remove all the mental dirt and then endowed all the qualities, all the good qualities. And if you have endowed all good qualities, there's no obscuration to benefit others. You can be a peer, like and many of our many good teachers often use the metaphor like the moon, where you have the moon in the sky, and then in a clear weather, no kind of cloud there, and then the moon reflection in the water, ocean, pond, even like very small, like if you have like water in like a basin, for example, a bucket, that the reflection of the moon can appear wherever water is actually in there. Same thing, if there's no obscuration to benefit others in our activities, or when we become bodhisattvas or the Buddhas, our wish is to help others, right? It just reflect like naturally. There's no obscuration, because we have more or less try to remove the stinginess or selfishness or those obstacle rooted from the three poison, and then elaborate more. And if you're able to remove them, then we will become, we can move, our mind can move really freely, and our mind can just no kind of suspicious, or no kind of, what do you call it, like whoever we meet, it's like my mom or myself, there's someone that we have known each other. His Holiness Office, these are really good, His Holiness Office share, like, when he traveled different places, he said, I don't, like identify myself like the Dalai Lama. If you make the Dalai Lama, because of course he is famous, he is the person who is the Buddha of our time, but he always try to reach out to those who are most vulnerable people. Like, when he was in Lhasa in the palace, and he most of the time he tried to become a good, like a company with the sweeper or the cook who are cooking in the kitchen. And just because bodhisattvas are like that, they just always go to those who are most in need compared to him. But by sharing, listening why he's sharing that, I think he's telling us to do like that too. Of course, our mind is so stubborn. Most of the time we fail, but just acknowledging failing is also a good thing. Okay, I have done something wrong. I shouldn't do again in the future. So when we go to different places, we're meeting people, just smile. We are meeting another human being, no matter whether, like white hair, black hair, or yellow, or green, whatever, it's a culture there are some culture things are there, but it's getting, this is, many people say that the world is getting smaller. What does that mean? Do you get any idea what does that mean? Our world is getting smaller. What was that? Interconnectedness, interdependence play a role. That's the right thing. And our world's getting smaller. There are many different ways to explain what does it mean. Interconnectedness, interdependence there. Another thing is, unlike past, now the technology, internet, transportation are very, in a way, it connects you so easily. And if you are able to use it for the good, and we can benefit much faster or maybe more efficient way, something like that. So, whereas I mentioned that Buddhist psychology and Buddhist philosophy, and then Buddhist religion. Yeah, the religion part, His Holiness often says, okay, the religion part maybe those who have decided to be, real practitioner of the Buddhist, meaning, but that's actually individual. It's not like we don't have to make kind of announcement and declare I am Buddhist. No, you don't have to. But maybe sometimes it's formally that declaring yourself like a Buddhist, meaning, keep yourself. That doesn't mean that you don't have to interact with others as well, because always, you also see these 4 of his commitment. The second commitment is very important. Are you aware of these 4 commitments?
Yes.
Can you say that?
First, environment.
Sorry?
Environment. Commitment for
And the 4 main principles. Okay, let me put the question.
of His Holiness.
His Holiness the Dalai Lama have 4 principal commitments. Of course, he has so many commitments. He's the Buddha. He's serving for everybody. But
the environment is one.
Okay, the 4 principal commitments that listed on his official website, and wherever he goes, he share with the 4 commitments. 4 commitments. 4 sorry. Yeah, promotion of religious harmony is the second commitment.
Universal human values. Universal human values.
Right.
That's the first one.
Yeah, and then
Science and mind. Yeah.
as a part of it, I guess, an example of it. Okay, let me mention. Okay, I could briefly mention that. So His Holiness the Dalai Lama have 4 principal. They call it the 4 principal commitments, meaning main commitments. And number 1 is promoting human values. It's not really promoting like a issue of Tibet or issue of India or something like that. His main commitment is number 1, promoting human values. Promoting human values, right? This covers so much. Promoting human values, and he have given some of the example. The human values: compassion, loving, kindness. Like a bodhichitta. You could use a bodhichitta, and practice patience and mutual respect, and treating each other as the same human fellow. These are these are basic human values. And his first commitment is promoting basic human values. And sometimes he uses basic human values, or maybe sometimes he said promoting human values. This is the human values. And then number 2 is promoting religious harmony. So, the number 1, promoting human values, meaning loving, kindness, compassion, understanding, respect. These are, the basic human values. And these are shared with many, many major religious traditions. And because of that, work together with the other religious tradition to bring about this. If we are able to create one individual, most loving, caring, and compassionate person, that influence to your parent. That's, for example, Archana is doing wonderful, studies and practicing. She can influence to her family, and then the family member will influence another family, 1 to 10, 10 to 100, 100 to 1,000, 1,000 to like this. This is how it really related. That's actually the interconnection is also automatically come. So promoting interreligious harmony, the basic human values shared with all human beings, even animals sometimes, of course. I was saying that bodhichitta could be, cultivated even in the human beings. So, but there's maybe no really language, the way that we educate, the way that we learn, the way that we practice, the way that we, reflect. Probably animals may not able to do that because of their, their own, their karmic results taken as a human and animals. So promoting interreligious harmony meaning all religious group work together to bring about peace, harmony, and compassion and tolerance to us, to our family, because the world is becoming smaller, meaning we are so connected. Whether we like it or not, we are all connected. So if you have this kind of broad-minded, then just thinking one very narrow-minded, just thinking about self-centered attitudes have no much room. If we are thinking only me, it tortures ourselves, right? It's really torture ourselves in a way. So because of that, the second one is promoting human values. Okay, and promoting interreligious harmony. And then the third one is the promoting let me see the third one is advocate about Tibet issue because Tibet is something very important, and the Tibetan culture, the religion, the tradition, environment, they're so much connected with others rather than just Tibet. All the different neighboring countries. And environment, when you talk about the geographically, the environment, he often say that Tibet is some scientists also say Tibet is a third pole, meaning the major river in Asia come from Tibet, Mount Kailash. And because of that, taking care of environment in Tibet is very important. When you say taking care of environment in Tibet, that include many of the Indian Himalaya too, because we have the glacier, we have very much connected with Tibet. It's just share border. So taking care of advocating Tibetan issue, it could have issue of the Tibet resolved with the issue of Tibet should be resolved through a dialogue. His approach is through dialogue, through conversation, making connection, human to human connection, rather than fighting or creating a conflict. Conflict. If we try to resolve some problem through fighting, it create another enemy, another problem, bigger. It's create bigger problem rather than small, rather than what do you call it, minimize the problem. So because of His Holiness, commitment is promoting and advocating Tibet issue, how to resolve the issue of Tibet through dialogue, through non-violent communication, through non-violent conversation. And then, yes, we have to practice patience. We have to practice patience, but we can't force people to practice patience. But by practicing patience, if you feel we can just test ourselves. If you practice patience, give you more satisfaction, less trouble, then to go for it. And then, of course, sometimes outbursts happen because of our emotions. Sometimes we get so emotional, and no matter how much work with us working, try to understand other people, and there are some who are quite stubborn, little bit. And then remember, Asna, you were there, right, when we had the audience with His Holiness? And did you hear what he says about Tibet? Yeah, of course, he gave us the wonderful teaching, and his presence is so blessed in Mongkut, like last week, I think, right? Last week, yeah. And he said when he was in Tibet, in Lhasa, and he met Mao Zedong a few times, and he liked him, and Mao Zedong also loved him, and he got a time to share his principle, his view about the future of humanity. And he was listening, he was interested to learn. And then the last thing he said, religious is poison.
His reaction.
When he said religious is poison, and then he said, I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. That's what he said. He have no word what to say. Well, of course he may have, but he definitely he have. But whether the word make him, change what he's saying or not, that's another thing. In the many of the Buddhist teaching, there are certain beings who come with their own kind of expectation or their own view, and then expecting that the answer should be what they want. And then if the Buddha or Bodhisattva give the answer what exactly they want, their wrong view, erroneous view, or their belief, which is harmful for oneself and others for a long run as well as for a short term, and they are not prepared, they are not really prepared, they are not ready to get the right answer. And because of that, this remain silent. They don't answer. And because of that, I think in the Pramana Vartika says, in someone who have wrong views and very strongly believe in that, and then he wanted to challenge to Buddha, he or she, I can't remember, it's a sutra says, and when he or she come to ask the Buddha, he didn't answer. He just remained silent. Just remaining silent, which prove that he is enlightened being. That's actually precisely mentioned in one of the textbooks, in the sutra. Because if you answer what he wants, he goes wrong. If he answered what he's saying is not right, maybe he's not ready to accept it, and then he may try to do something opposite, which will be harmful for oneself and others. So Bodhisattva never ever want to happen any harm for the others. So their wish is always to bring about peace and happiness for the others rather than trouble. So because of that, he remains silent. So that's why his son said, I remain silent. Well, we should feel so sorry, meaning we should be compassionate. We should be really, really compassionate. Because, how can you say like this kind of thing, but what to do? There's always like this. But it's an opportunity. I think it's a good opportunity to, one time actually he said, from his mind, he feel like, oh, he's the real destroyer of the Buddha's teaching, the most compassionate teaching. There is it. You could read in the books, My Land and My People. Have you read? His Holiness a biography. There are a few books that, of course, His Holiness have written many, many books about many different topics. Then there's one book, I think they often say the biography of His Holiness. The title is My Land and My People. And he have expressed so everything, because from his birth to until exile. And after that, I think there's another one, My Land and My People. And then the very latest one is A Voice for the Voiceless. Have you heard that?
Yes.
The very latest one, I haven't read that yet, but I read the My Land and My People many times, and it gives so much kind of, what do you call it, like courage. Like same as like Mahatma Gandhi. If you read about Gandhi's biography, he is the Bodhisattva. He was the Bodhisattva, definitely. And then My Land, My People, and His Holiness share about his, in 1950. I think it is okay. It is all related with the bodhichitta as a bodhisattva practice because its stories are connected. In 1956, when His Holiness visited to India to participate the Buddha Jayanti celebration in Delhi, I think, and he had an opportunity to go to the Gandhi Jayanti, in Rajghat in Delhi, to do some prayer together with the religious people or official people. And he was praying so hard to Gandhiji. If Gandhiji is here, I'm sure I will be, he will be giving me, like advice, guidance, how to resolve this problem through non-violence. It's something really powerful. You should read these books. Really, really good books. Anyway, so the fourth commitment, the third one, which is advocating Tibet issue, the people who are interested to know and who really care about humanity, who really care about the loving, caring, compassion society that we need to create. So that third one is that. And then the fourth one, recently he's advocating, strongly talking about reviving ancient Indian wisdom. That's very important. So it's reviving. Have you heard that? Reviving ancient Indian wisdom. Reviving ancient Indian wisdom. Write down these 3 or 4 if you don't know. Yeah, maybe, yeah, that's good. Reviving ancient Indian wisdom. So when you say reviving, see, the word that reviving, meaning it's a decline. It's like it's a destroyed it's a decline in India. So now is the time to revive it. It's not just for the Indian, but for world. And then for that, I think Indian have special responsibilities because the major religious tradition in India, it exists. Modern India and ancient India, I don't know, there's a differences are there. I'm pretty sure because if you travel in a village, you can really find the true India. The religious people they are kind of honest. They're very simple and they can tackle problem really easily. Interestingly, these are there. There's people who are doing some research about how can you revive ancient Indian wisdom. So of course, philosophers, scientists, educationists, and those who are really good and well-educated people, they are taking a responsibility definitely, but at the same time, common people like us, we also have the responsibility to take that. So when you say that reviving ancient Indian wisdom, His Holiness has been doing this, from the beginning of he came to India. Meaning, when you say reviving ancient Indian wisdom, you could have the major other religious tradition wisdom is there, and then one is the ancient Nalanda tradition, the Buddhist teaching. It's a world heritage because see how many of you have visited Bodh Gaya in Bihar? Yeah, there's numbers of them. So Bodh Gaya, the Mahabodhi Stupa, which is like world heritage, UNESCO heritage, right? Why they have taken as a UNESCO, they under UNESCO because it's a world treasure. And then, of course, the monument, the stupas, the ruin walls, these are a reminder for us, all the Nalanda masters, the teaching that, survive until now because of the kindness, with holiness, and the Tibetan people, and then the Nalanda master who, go back to like 8th, 7th century, how much they sacrifice, how much they put effort to translate the whole teaching into language, Tibetan language, and preserve now. So now is the time for us to take responsibility by listening, studying by ourselves thoroughly, and then sharing with others. That's the thing. Very important. I think it's really, we have a lot of, we have a responsibility at the same time. I think we need to create kind of a platform or opportunity for the younger like you. How old are you? I'm sorry. It's okay. You're the youngest, right? 36?
Yeah.
You two look really similar. But anyway, so now very encouraging thing is, and I'm sure people know, but if there are some people who don't know, the Tibet House in New Delhi, where the Nalanda Studies courses are taking place, it's really, 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 it's truly taking the fourth commitment, reviving ancient Indian wisdom. And where the participants come from many different countries and they are so interested and they're learning and they're knowing, right? Actually, they know they have the brain, which is so encouraging for us. And then there are a lot of Indian participants for sure, and then international people are there, and there are many other institutions, many different places are there available too. But when you come to the international level, the language barriers, there's a big language problem, Some don't speak Hindi, some don't speak Tibetan, and then there are very small group of people who can speak Tibetan. And there are very small group of people who speak only Hindi, and then English is the main international language. So this Nalanda study courses are all taught in English language, which it's more like a more or less like international language, I guess. So these are something need to aware if someone interested some other time, maybe good to join, but not necessarily go to only the Tibet House in New Delhi. Geshe often say that you go wherever it's more, like a convenience for you, maybe Bangalore could sometime. Do we have anything kind of this learning center here in Bangalore other than Choe Khor Sum Ling?
There's the Mahabodhi Center, Mahabodhi Society.
Okay.
Society. I don't know if there are many classes.
Okay. Well, I mean, I visited only in Bangalore, just on the way to traveling, not really stay much. But anyway, it's good to sometime, if you know different, but you have to make sure that the right place and the right groups who are really fulfilling our wish, and who is fulfilling the humanity's wish, who is fulfilling the Buddha's and Bodhisattva wish. So because of that, you need to, it's good to do some kind of collaboration work sometime. I'm sure it's happening in different places. So what? Oh gosh. So I mentioned about the 4 commitments of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. So because I've been in Dharamsala and so much influence of the Dalai Lama teaching and that many of the enlightened teachers, so it's good to share someone who maybe not really aware, or someone even though aware, maybe a reminder again. So that's why. So because the topic is precious human life and the bodhichitta. So if our human life is so precious, why it's precious? Because we can gain a lot, we can do a lot of good thing to benefit many other beings with this body and the speech and the mind. And because of that, there, if you go to detail, we need a whole session, maybe a couple months or maybe years. But we have the opportunity, the 8 leisure and the 10 endowment, and just pointed out a few of them, right? And those, you don't have to go one. I mean, if you want interested, go one by one. You can learn, you can find them. That what are the 8 leisure and the 10 endowments are there. And it's good to just learn these things, but at the same time, just learning is not enough. The minute you're learning, and then reflection, and then also applying is very important. So this need to be really things, and then human body, and then I was mentioning about the bodhichitta. So who can cultivate the bodhichitta? Where the Buddhas have mentioned about the bodhichitta, or the many different sources of the teaching, and then also there's the commentary of the Buddha's teaching of the Nalanda masters, Maitreya Buddha have indicated, given the meaning of the bodhicitta. So bodhicitta is a mind that wish. A mind that, what was that? What was that? Can you say a little louder?
He wants to gain enlightenment for the benefit of other human beings.
Other what?
Human beings.
Sentient.
Oh, sentient being. Okay, I thought human being. Okay, bodhicitta is bodhicitta is bodhicitta is a main mind. Okay, psychology, you have to stick with the technical thing. Bodhicitta is a primary mind or main mind. When you say why I'm saying primary mind and main mind and mental factors. When it comes to study the Buddhist psychology, we have to need to know the identified about what does it mean, what are the mental factors, what are the action or the function of the mental factors, and the primary mind and the mind. Bodhicitta is a primary mind, wish to attain full enlightenment for the benefit of all beings. This is that there's two lines that in the Material Buddha's textbooks, and bodhicitta is primary mind to attain full enlightenment to benefit all beings. So it covers everything, right? So when you say I wish to become a Buddha, to become an awakened person, to benefit all beings, then we have to start from individual, from the scratch. You can't really just jump and I'm benefiting, just sitting somewhere and benefit doesn't make sense, right? So then we have to work in our own, our own mental, our own capacity, and from our own place, whatever way you can do. So this is the indication. Sorry, the meaning of the bodhicitta. And then it has two types. Bodhicitta is two, which is aspirational bodhicitta and then engaging bodhicitta. So in a guide to the Bodhisattva way of life, the Bodhisattva Shantideva have given very clear explanation about these two, aspirational bodhicitta and engaging bodhicitta. Aspirational bodhicitta. Aspirational bodhicitta and engaging bodhicitta. So aspiration bodhicitta is just aspire that may I become a Buddha for the benefit of all beings. It's just aspiring. And then engaging bodhicitta is you're really engaging into it, really practicing the six perfections. The six perfection meaning the training. Training is body, speech, and mind is at the foundation of training. And then on top of that, you practice practicing generosity, ethical discipline, meditative concentration, patience, joyous effort, and then wisdom, 6 perfection or 10 perfection. These are the, once you have committed to become a Buddha to benefit all beings, then action is the practice of the 6 or the 10 perfect practicing. So bodhicitta this is what bodhicitta is, okay? Let me see what I It's from, okay, we have only how many minutes left? 6:46. After 7, right? No, it's okay. We have to leave early morning, but that's okay. Okay, bodhicitta. I just give the meaning of the bodhicitta and the two category of the bodhicitta. Aspirational bodhicitta and engaging bodhicitta. And aspirational bodhicitta is just aspire the deeds of the bodhicittas, and I really wanted to like them too. And then you is wish that I want to become a Buddha to benefit all beings, like aspiring. And then it's a guide to Buddha's way of life where you have given it like the metaphor is very beautiful metaphor. There's one verse, I don't have the translation with me here, but what it's meaning, like the metaphor is giving like aspiration bodhicitta is like this. Suppose you wish to travel from here to, let's say, to Delhi. The wish to travel from here to Delhi is similar as the aspirational bodhicitta. And then when you're packing and you're really on the road driving or maybe catching the train or maybe like getting to the airport and you're flying, that's aspirational, engaging bodhicitta. You are really walking. This is the metaphor being given. And then the meaning is aspirational bodhicitta is a wish to become a Buddha. And the engaging bodhicitta is you are really walking with, meaning living with the practice. The living with the practice means practice that the 6 or the 10 practice that you need to do. So this is given in the Buddhism Guide to the Buddhist Way of Life, where you have one verse. It has beautifully just articulately mentioned that. That one's there. And then if you want to do more about how do you know that you have generated bodhicitta, the identification of the meaning of the bodhicitta given, the category of the given, and then the measure that you have generated bodhicitta. And if someone interested to learn about this in detail, maybe study in the future sometime the 3 principal aspects of the path by Lama Tsongkhapa. 3 principal aspects of the path by Lama Tsongkhapa, where he mentioned one by one, like renunciation and bodhicitta and wisdom emptiness. And first, what is renunciation? Why we practice renunciation? And then the measure that you have cultivated renunciation is given one by one in very, very precise way. And then talk about bodhicitta, same thing. It's short, really precise, but then we need when we want to do more elaboration study, stages of the path to enlightenment, the Lama Tsongkhapas, and then eliminating the intent with Lama Tsongkhapas, and then Guide to the Buddhist Way of Life, where each chapter have given so many details in there. And these are not just a simply religious kind of religious things. It's really much like a common education, but that educate our heart and mind. And the more that we get educate our heart and mind, we get more like a more enlightened or maybe more relaxed person, and we're getting more understanding person, a more responsible person. And that lead us closer to the practice of the engaging bodhisattvas. Bodhicitta, engaging, maybe it's closer a little bit, maybe slowly become closer to that. The mental thing, but at the same time you have to start from somewhere. Otherwise, just waiting is not just postponing. If you postpone now, if you're waiting for that, then who knows? Talking about precious human body, we have got this human body right now, and we met the Dalai Lama, and we met the teaching of the Dalai Lama, and we met so many enlightened teachers. You all may know, you individually you have different teachers that you so much benefit and live with them and continue, never give up. Soulless often doesn't never give up. Giving up is the most failure, I guess, right? Of course, when you are really much committed to work with this really, really meaningful practice and studies, actually obstacle can occur quite often because we are aiming to do something really greater thing. And then, because beings are sentient beings, right? The mental attitude, we also have limitation are there. And sometimes instead of appreciating those who are doing, good thing, benefiting thing, instead of appreciating, instead of, like cooperating, sometimes people could create some, uneasiness things, but we have to be prepared that taking that as an opportunity to practice. Just often use that, this, what was that word, that transforming adversity into opportunity. You have to be really happy about that. Well, I mean, of course, not happy with the action that created, but we have to be ready to use that opportunity to strengthen our practice patience and compassion, make this stronger instead of, sometimes these little children are so inspirational, right? We can learn so much from them. And sometimes they said, what? They are in a way they are innocent, but what they say is really true. And one time I was in the US for about 8 months. One time I visited one school, and the person who reached out me, that's children, very young children, like 7 to 9, very young children, and can you come to give some teaching, the talk to them? Of course I did. And then someone else gave them some lesson already, and then I just asked them about what did you learn from the previous, class of Buddhism. They were so active talking about Buddhism teach about loving kindness. Buddhism teaching about caring others. Buddhism teaches about Four Noble Truth. I was so happy to see them. There was like there 30 plus young children. And then one said, Buddhism teach about be courageous. It's really young people, young children, 7, 8, like class 1, 2, like this. And same thing we have everywhere, right? I was just amazed looking at them. Wow, that's so good. Anyway, so that's clear indication that Buddha nature we have within us and within everybody, including animals, insects, right? So you need to just cherish it, try to continuously unravel it by learning and be courageous. The little young one says, be courageous. And for others, for the benefit of others, be courageous. But just self-interest and courageous doesn't make sense. You don't have to.
Geshema, I have a question.
Oh, okay.
Geshema?
Yes.
Yeah. May I ask you a question?
Sure.
Yeah, thank you for today's session. It was very nice. My name is Dr. Shruti. So you mentioned about two questions I have. You mentioned about Buddhist psychology, philosophy, and the third one is religion or what?
Oh, you're talking about the four principle commitment of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, or what was the other one?
Yes, yes. You mentioned, I missed to hear the third one. Three things something Buddhist psychology. You mentioned Buddhist philosophy, and the third one.
Oh, okay. Let me give you the four commitment of His Holiness once again. Number 1, promoting human values.
Okay.
Number 2,
She's asking about the three ways of studying Buddhism.
Oh, I see. Okay. That's the Buddhism classified in 3: Buddhist psychology, Buddhist philosophy, and Buddhist religion. Buddha's teaching can be categorized in 3. That's what His Holiness the Dalai Lama often, His Holiness address most of the time. Buddhist psychology first. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm writing it down. Yeah.
Okay. Buddhist psychology
Ah,
and Buddhist philosophy,
okay.
and then Buddhist religion. The third one is Buddhist religion.
Okay.
Okay, out of these 3, the first 2, anybody can study and apply into their life to make their life richer, their life more colorful, more active, more, like a, what do you call, make their life more successful.
Yes. And the
And
second question,
the third one is more like a individual wish, more like keep it individually rather than make it.
Yeah. And the next question, you mentioned about some 6 root cause and 22 some afflictions or operations.
Yes.
Can you
Okay.
list them so that it will help us to work towards bodhichitta or something, right? Those 22 plus 6 you
Bodhichitta,
mentioned.
I think bodhichitta is a wish to become a Buddha to benefit all beings. And then the obstacle to achieve like a complete peace and long-lasting happiness, there are many obstacles are there. And then it's known as like a affliction and cognitive obscuration. Affliction are divided into 2: root cause, 6 root cause,
Okay.
6 root affliction, and then 20 secondary affliction,
Okay.
which are identified in the Buddhist psychology textbooks.
Okay.
6 root cause and then 20 secondary.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
You're
And the
welcome.
root cause? Yeah.
So I think we want to have another lesson about the 6 root cause one by one, and then 20 secondary, cause one by one, because the psychology have all in details by the meaning, and then the the kind of what kind of that, I think I mentioned about the Buddhist psychology when you say study mind primary. I think I mentioned about when you come to the bodhichitta definition or the meaning of the bodhichitta. Bodhichitta is primary mind or main mind, the wish to become a Buddha to benefit all beings. And then why I said primary mind, and then it leads to talking about the mental factors. And then the mental factors, have 52 or 51 mental factors. And then the affliction most of them are, mental factors. And there's six root cause of the six root cause. Root affliction, 6 root affliction, and 20 secondary affliction, which are obstacle to practice to move our compassion and bodhicitta freely. Main thing is the self-centered attitude, but this is the root one, and then these are the branches come from the right, come from the self-centered attitude. Because of self-centered attitude, jealousy, or the captivity, what others, these are all come because of that. Okay, so
Thank you so much, Geshema, for clarifying my doubt.
You're welcome. So we have 2 minutes. And anybody have any other
I
question?
have a question.
Yes.
The aspiration for bodhicitta is a cause for ultimate enlightenment, or is it a condition for ultimate enlightenment?
Aspiration bodhicitta, in order to cultivate engaging bodhicitta, you have to have the wish. Oh no, engaging bodhicitta meaning I give
No, my
the.
question is not about engaging.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying ultimate enlightenment, when enlightenment actually happens.
Both, yes. Okay.
When enlightenment actually happens, is the aspiration, because every time you're aspiring, you're putting a seed in your mind stream that
Right.
I want to aspire, I'm aspiring, and I
Right,
want to become
right,
this.
right.
So does the seed act as a cause or a condition to ultimate enlightenment?
It's a cause. Both the bodhicitta is a cause to achieve enlightenment, and aspiration bodhicitta. When you come to the boundary, aspiration bodhicitta is up to like bodhisattvas bhumi up to 7 or something.
7.
I think 7. After that, engaging bodhicitta. And Buddha's bodhicitta is only engaging bodhicitta. Aspiration is just aspire,
Yeah.
not action. I'm not sure about not completed, not action, but they are action, but probably not really
Not as much.
the same as engaging bodhicitta, meaning when you are really actually practicing the body, like the perfection, the 6
You're
perfection or the 10
perfected
perfection.
compassion by 7.
Yeah. Okay, so any other question? If not, we could do some dedication, would be good. And do we have the dedication press? Thank you so much for everyone to coming online as well as in person. I'm so happy to be here. And let's do our dedication. Page number 36. Okay, let's see. 36. And Artana, will you do the dedication? Thank you. I can do. Okay.
Page 36 in the Golden Prayer Book. Due to the merits of these virtuous actions,
I quickly attain the state of Guru Buddha and lead all beings without exception into that enlightened state. May the supreme jewels of bodhicitta that has not arisen rise in the world, and may that which has arisen not diminish but increase forevermore.
in the
Then
land
of the soul mountains, you are the circle of forgiveness and good. All power of genetic tending please remain until samsara end. You who uphold.
That's we don't say that now.
It's okay. Yeah. Right, that's true. Yeah. Mitsuma, yeah. Okay. Vishwara. Manjushri, master of stainless wisdom. Vajrapani, destroyer of the entire host of Maras. Sankapa, crown jewel of the sage of the land of snow. The Dosan Tapa, at your feet I make prostration. Mi me te 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 me bo jambe anjenge beso ye song kawa no sandra bejama soale me se de take me, kwamo jambe, kanchenge me soye songkapa, lo sandra bejama soade. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much. Thank you for everyone.
On behalf of everyone here and the bigger CKSL community, I thank
Thank you
Geshema
so much. Thank you so
for
much.
coming to our center.
Thank you.
And
Thank
we're
you.
so happy we made this connection with
Thank
you.
you.
We request you to please come again.
Sure,
Again.
yeah. I think
It was so nice to hear. Sometimes we forget the
you come
bigger.
you come here.
Sometimes
Because
we
then
forget
people need to see you.
the bigger commitments that our main Guru Precious Holiness has, and how we need to follow in that.
Right.
So it was so interesting today to kind of reconnect with our Guru's main wishes for the world
Good.
and for the people. And I'm definitely going to put this here and share it with the community for all of us to reconnect with that.
Good.
And thank you so much.
Thank you so
And
much.
please
Thank
come
you.
back again.
Sure,
and again.
definitely.
And again.
We'll
The
come back
center
again.
is here as long as
Yeah,
the
it's
center is
beautiful. That's what's all around you. So I'm sure everything was has it benefit many time, many years. And it's been here like more than 20 years, right?
Yeah,
Wonderful.
it's, we just now have turned 22 years.
22 years.
23
That's
years.
wonderful. That's
23.
great. Thank
Geshema,
you.
small offering
No,
from
I don't
us.
need anything.
No, no,
You just
Geshema,
keep
this-
then I can keep the call kata and then the rest you
At least you should take.
no.
Dry fruits at least you should take.
You'll eat in the airport.
Yes.
Okay, you put in there, okay? Thank you.
Fruits and dry fruits.
Yeah, that's okay. Thank you. Nothing. Thank you so much for having me here, having us here. And we are all
Please come back.
we call it like a spiritual siblings. Spiritual brother and sister. Dharma sibling, exactly. Thank you so much.
Can we all have a group photo with you?
Yeah, why not? Yes. I think we
Thank you all for
Thank you for
coming.
everyone.
And on Monday, we have Geshe Tenzin Lahdron,
That's
who is going to be teaching from 6 to 8 on emotional intelligence and compassion. So please come and join in for that teaching. It's really a very special time. Thanks to His Holiness who is in South India. All the teachers are visiting and
Wonderful.
CKSL is benefiting heavily from this. And I think we should just reap the
Rejoice.
benefits. Yes, rejoice.
Rejoice is
Thank
very
you. And
good.
thanks to His Holiness for visiting
Yeah, of
South India
course. Yeah.
and being here. So,
Yes, that is great.
so
Thank you,
good
Deepti.
night to all of you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
She want to stop.